think you're my mother. But you can't be here. There's a diner. One conversation. Tell me who my father is.
Viewer discretion advised. Previously on Station.
Hey guys, so I got to watch Added Up on the night that it aired. I'm very excited to discuss both the episode and the trailer review. The trailer review, there is a chapter time in the video description when that discussion will begin, but let's talk about the episode. Now, this episode I thought was much better than last week's, but it seems still kind of filler, kind of background noise. Now, Grey's Anatomy is definitely a series that people can binge over and over again, and I feel that once you've seen this episode, you know, in your first binge of Grey's Anatomy, you don't need to give it 100% attention, but it's still an episode that has some really nice character bonding moments, and overall, it was just really fun to watch. So, the one thing I really liked about this episode was the disagreement between Alex and DeLuca with the patient with the pancreatitis. And the reason why I really like that is when DeLuca got really mad at the mother and essentially, not threatened, but was aggressive, try to manhandle her into having her daughter do the surgery. I thought it was very reflective of how Alex used to be, way back when he started his residency with Arizona, and Arizona told him that you can't be that way to parents. You need to coax them into allowing the parents to make the decision for the child because your job is to advocate for the child. So I like that Alex is bringing the lessons that Arizona has taught him to his residents and whatnot. Alex isn't always the best teacher. We don't always get to see him teach too much, but I really did like that quite a bit. So the Alex and DeLuca storyline was really well done. And what was interesting about the Alex and DeLuca storyline was in the description for this episode, it talked about Maggie making those study rooms or those patient rooms and whatnot. And I found it really, really funny how Maggie and Bailey really kind of got sucked in to the Alex and DeLuca storyline. More or less, I mean, Maggie's storyline was truly a subsection of Alex's storyline. Same with Bailey. And, they had Bailey, Maggie, and a couple of the interns. Kadri, particularly being the one that stuck out throughout this episode. She was really fantastic. I want to see more of her backstory really soon. So, they were all bonding with the patient and whatnot. So, Maggie and Bailey were kind of just off into the distance. But the ending sequence with Maggie and Meredith was really nice. And the beginning sequence with Maggie and Amelia was really nice. But I want one with all three sisters. Like, they need to have some more interaction for sure. So overall, I really did like, the whole thing that went on with Alex and DeLuca and how it kind of was able to encompass Maggie and Bailey. Then we have the Amelia and Link storyline, which was dealing with the two patients that came in, and then that storyline bled into Weber and Jackson's storyline, and Amelia and Link was dealing with the mother, and it just allowed them to have more bonding moments and to essentially develop a stronger connection. I would say that Katerina Scorsone and Chris Carmack have a real chemistry, a much stronger chemistry than Ellen Pompeo and Chris Carmack did, and I feel it and I like it and I ship it. I do not support Owen and Amelia. I just don't think they work, but I think I could see Link and Amelia being a strong couple going forward. I mean, I can't see Chris Carmack being on the show for too long, but if his connection with Amelia is strong enough, then yeah, I can see him kind of just being, her main guy, along with Amelia dealing with Maggie and Meredith. So, their storyline, it didn't really stick out too much to me, but it was just enough to allow their characters to grow, and I did enjoy that. And that's why I feel the episode is kind of a background as one, because it's just a lot of chit-chat between the two to develop the relationship, and kind of at the end of it, you see because they have sex again. So, you get it. You understand why it's there, but you don't need to pay 100% attention to just a couple little, listens to the dialogue is enough. But the one thing, as I said, Amelia and Link's storyline had Weber and Jackson's storyline being a subsection of that, and I really liked the Weber and Jackson storyline. Now, I've talked about this before, where I don't like when a show just blatantly says a message. I think when it's, done organically into the episode, it's really interesting and really is able to be more expressive, as opposed to being like, go vote, like they did back in the fall episode, I believe it was episode 5 or episode 6. So what happened with Jackson Weber is Weber is dealing with a gender non-binary patient, and Jackson and Hellmouth are able to figure it out. I mean, Jackson's not so much a millennial, but he's in the millennial type gap, and Hellmouth, I believe, is a millennial, like myself. And I like how they had Weber dealing with, the gender non-binary, the LGBTQ. I don't know which part the non-binary part it goes to, but it's in that category. So I thought that the show was very sensitive to the non-binary part of that of the LGBT group, I guess. And I thought the representation was well done, and I really liked how it is able to show how the older generation is dealing with all the new constructs of society. So overall, that was really, really well done. And I also really liked how Jackson and Weber talked about Catherine. Regrettably, Catherine was seen, not heard. I would have liked to have seen Catherine in this episode, but whatever. It wasn't too bad. Then we have Toddy versus Towan. Quite frankly, I really do see the chemistry with both Greg Germain and Kim Raver, and also Kim Raver and Kevin McKidd. I really do see the chemistry with both sets, so I really ship both of them, which is like a pain, because I didn't see the chemistry with Kevin McKidd and Amelia, or Kevin McKidd and Katarina Scorstone, and I definitely didn't see it with Christina and Owen. Like, I know people say Christina and Owen are a great couple, but I honestly just never felt it. But the bonding between Kevin McKidd, or Owen, and Teddy throughout this episode was fantastic. I really liked it. And then when Karasik came in towards the end of the episode and was like, I'll fight you for it. I love Teddy, though I have to say it's a little early to love Teddy Tom. We've only been dating her for a few months, but whatever. But I really did enjoy the dynamics between all three characters, and I'm curious who Teddy will eventually be with. My guess is it's going to be Owen. Just for canonical sake, I think it's going to be the easiest choice for the writers. So now the last part of the episode to quickly talk about is Meredith. This episode is the series is called Grey's Anatomy, yet Grey does so little, and it gets to a point where it's little recently, and it's so weird because Ellen Pompeo, essentially, I would say almost every episode up until season 15 was front and center, and I feel like this season, and particularly the last few episodes, she's taken very much a backseat, and I'm wondering if she's just doing more things behind the scenes. She needs a break. I mean, Ellen Pompeo she's a great actress, so it makes sense that other characters can be more important than Meredith right now, but I feel like she needs an actual storyline. She was just kind of grieving DeLuca, and I use grieving lightly. So it just kind of bothered me that was that she did super nothing. But I really did like her sequence with Maggie at the end of the episode. I thought that was nice, and then I really did like how she bonded with DeLuca as well. So overall, she didn't do enough to be like, wow, Meredith's storyline was the best. But she did enough that I was like, okay, at least she's acting a little bit. She's not sitting there on her phone sad. So overall, as I said, I think the episode is fun, better than last week's, but in the end, it's not going to be like a stick-out wow episode. Like this episode will never match the impact of Flight or the impact of episode 12 of the season, where Catherine had the surgery. So now let's talk about the trailer for Silent All These Years. What's interesting about the trailer is it's completely focused on Joe. There's no other cutscenes, and the episode description is very, very short. So the episode description says, when a trauma patient arrives at Grace Sloan, it forces Joe to confront her past. Bailey and Ben have to talk about dating. Bailey and Ben, it's definitely going to be a B storyline. It cannot be that important because the focus of the trailer, it even had a parental guidance advisory on it, is about Joe and her mother. And now Joe was not Added Up at all. Alex had talked about her, and then at the end of the episode, she was crying. And I had really liked how Added Up ended on such a cliffhanger note. Now, Grey's Anatomy is a serialized show where not every episode has to be 100% connected. The canon is obviously, it is what it is. Like, the episodes do connect, but not each episode needs to flow properly into the next one. It's not like we're Once Upon a Time where when Elsa came out of the urn at the end of season 3, in season 4 you expect to see Elsa doing something. In Grey's Anatomy, that's not always the case. Like, not every character at the end of episode 1 needs to be doing something in episode 2 that's relevant to what happened at the end of 1. Here, that's exactly what you have. So we're going to get a flashback of Jo, and then we're going to be getting what Jo is actually dealing with, and I'm guessing it's her mother. And it looks like there's a lot of drama, and I'm really curious to see what's going to be going on there. The only regrettable part about the trailer is it only shows the one storyline, and the episode description is so short that it's not showing a lot of storylines either. So I'm really bummed out that I don't have more to talk about, because I want to see more of this episode. I think it's going to be one of the standout episodes of season 15. It's just Camilla Luddington hasn't done too much this season, and she's a really good actress. She's really funny. She can be very dramatic. I really liked when she when she was dealing with DeLuca and Alex back in season 13. I liked when she and Alex had like that fake breakup, where there was the hospital personnel couldn't date, like attendings couldn't date residents and whatnot. So I really do like Camilla Luddington as an actress. I think she's very strong. Every actor on Grey's Anatomy is very strong. But this episode looks like it's going to force Camilla Luddington to really get into her deep sentimental side, and I'm curious to see everything that's going to be happening. Like when the trailer talks about her father, and I haven't even thought about Jo's father and whatnot, but I'm wondering if maybe she's related to Alex. But it looks like which I think would be really weird. I highly doubt that's the case, that she's related to Alex, but maybe she's related to someone on the show that we've already seen, and it's just going to cause more of a rift between, but not more rift, it's going to cause a rift between her and her fellow surgeons and whatnot. I mean, when the trauma patient arrives, my guess is it's going to be her mother or her father, and we're going to get Jo's past finally. And Jo's had a very torrid past, for sure, with her ex-husband and the like, but I mean, the trailer is just, it's intense, it's dramatic, and I like that. So overall, I would say the episode, I believe we just watched episode 17, episode 18, so I believe episode 19 is going to be a really great episode to watch. Very dark, lots to discuss more than likely. So overall, I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say about Add It Up, and what you have to say about Silent All These Years. I mean, the title really is reflective of the episode's plotline, I would imagine, because it's how Jo's mother was, silent to Jo for her entire life, which happens. Parents can give up children without having to want any contact with them. I mean, it causes the adopted child, or the child that's been given up, to sometimes wonder. I mean, Maggie wondered about her birth parents. Jo's clearly curious, and so I like how that's reflective to the idea of adopted children and the like. So I'm curious to see what's going to be going on here. I do wonder how Meredith will be involved in this plotline. It's so interesting to me where this season has been, very much about, it's called the season of love. It was shipped that, at least in the beginning. And now first we had who will she choose? Will it be Meredith and DeLuca, or Meredith and Link? And now who will Teddy choose? Will it be Owen, or will it be Tom? And now it's kind of it's shifting towards Alex and Jo, towards the more, getting away from the soap opera to more of the like Desperate Housewives juicy drama, and I think that's more engaging, more fun to watch. So overall, I like the trailer for Silent All These Years. I wish it was cut with more things to see, but I think given the nature of this episode, it needs to be cut that way, and I really did like Add It Up to a certain point. Silent All These Years is going to be directed by Debbie Allen, who we all know plays Catherine Avery, and Debbie Allen is a fantastic director. So I bet we are going to be having some really good sequences throughout this episode. I bet the tears are going to be, the waterworks will be in full effect, I bet. So overall, I thank you for watching my review of both the trailer and the episode, and I'm looking forward to discussing Grey's Anatomy next week with you guys. All right, bye.